Morning all, Kingbrown here. Off on a bit of an adventure today, actually. I've just been sitting here cooling down. About a very hot morning this morning. I was out dragging a hose around a swamp spraying little oak trees, and it's about 36 degrees, but feels like 46 degrees. High humidity, and the mosquitoes were very large. They were as big as me, and yeah, big enough that air guard wasn't working. You had to punch these things off to get them off you. I mean, they were big. And yeah, got very hot and heated down there. Anyway, came home, had a quick shower, and I changed it. I'm just about to head off to look at a camp oven that's for sale. And I'm first in line, but there's a big list behind me already, apparently. I was talking to him this morning. And yeah, it's a Furphy camp oven, a 12-inch, and I actually haven't got one of those in my collection, believe it or not. I've got 3 20s and 2 15s, and yeah, but I got no 12-inch, and I'm missing a few of the smaller sizes. So, well, there's a good opportunity. It's only an hour there and an hour back. You'd very rarely see anything in the way of collectible camp ovens in my area. They don't come up very often. It's a bit of a strange area for camp oven cooking. This one for me to be living in, that's for sure. But it's just not a thing around here. And yeah, so anyway, got to jump at the opportunity when it's there. I wasn't really planning on buying any more ovens, and it's just that I thought, well, it's that close, you know, I can't really let anyone else go and get it. I might as well go get it myself. But anyway, plan is get down there and have a bit of a look at it and just verify that it is a genuine 12-inch Furphy, as in genuine Shepherd and Foundry made. Not Billman's made or Chinese made. Chinese made, if it's Chinese made, it'll be staying there, that's for sure. Have absolutely zero interest in a Chinese made Furphy. Already own one, a small one, and they're absolute garbage. Don't recommend anyone spending any money on them. And if it's a Billman's one, there's nothing wrong with a Billman's Furphy. I'd probably still buy it. Yeah, that's just my personal preference. It's not going to cook any better. I think possibly a genuine foundry made Furphy might have an edge as far as value goes, but probably not much in it really. I mean, because there's not a lot of people can really tell the difference between a foundry made one and a Billman's made one anyway, so they're just going to pay whatever the current market value is. This guy's done his homework. I'm not ripping him off in any way whatsoever, or trying for a super bargain deal, and I don't believe in that. I know plenty of people that do. They'll squeeze and try to get the best dollar they can, but the fact of the matter is he's got plenty of people sitting there waiting in line that'll take that oven right there straight away. So, you know, I'm not going to argue the price with him. If it's genuine and it's uncracked, that's what I'm going to go and check and inspect, make sure it's just uncracked, undamaged. We'll have a bit of an inspection on that, and verify that it is what it's supposed to be, and the money will change hands, and I'll be bringing that thing home. So anyway, I'll head off, and we'll see how we go. Well, I've just made it into town here where he's living. He's just around the corner from where I'm sitting here right now. But I won't record anything while I'm around there. I don't want to invade his privacy or anything like that. So I'll just nip around, check out what I need to check out, make sure that, have a look at it and make sure it is what it's supposed to be. And all going well, I'll hand over some cash and pick up the new oven and head on back out of town. And I'll pull over on the way out. There's a nice little spot there I noticed on the way in. I'll just pull over there and get the camera out, and I'll have a look at a closer look at the oven, and we'll have a bit of a discussion about it then. Well, this is a nice place. Yeah, a bit choppy out there in the ocean at the moment. I'm just right here beside the beach, but I might jump out and we'll have a quick look at this camp oven. There it is, it's there. Alright. What I'm looking at. There's a gap between the 12 and the Furphy. The Chinese usually put Furphy 12 with no gap because they don't know how to write in English properly. Shepparton, nice clean stamp. I don't think it's a Billman's one. I'm no expert on the Billman's ones, to tell you the truth. Bit of rust on it, that's okay. He was a little bit worried about it. He said, I soaked it in some vinegar to make sure it wasn't too rusty on the inside. It's been in the shed for a long time. I said, yeah, that's okay, mate. And he didn't have a clue who I was, so that was good. No cracks on it, no broken legs. I've had a good look at it when I was there real quick. Everything looked fine. The Furphys, they're pretty tough and hard to break anyway, so I was very confident that it wouldn't be broken. Very neat little oven. This is actually in pretty good nick. It's going to need, it's got some paint maybe. No, that's not paint, that's just a bit of a typical Furphy base. Varying colours of metal in the casting. That's perfectly normal for a Furphy. In fact, I'd nearly say that's signature Furphy to do that. Yeah, no, that's all very good. Nice little oven, very happy with that. Still got the original bale that comes out with these, and in quite good nick. Very happy with my little purchase there. So I'm going to take him home. There's no seasoning on here, but I might even do a bit of a video on how I'm going to restore this one and why I'm going to do it that way. It's been a long time since it got used, and I doubt very much it got used very often. But anyway, and yeah, had a closer look again. All looking pretty good actually. It's mostly rust. There's no real sign of any proper seasoning on here. I don't think he's ever, I actually don't think it's been used enough to acquire a decent amount of seasoning. I mean, even the outside, there's no real signs of any carbon from the fire or coals on here. It's all just rust. I mean, it was a very coastal town. It's been in the shed in a house there right near the beach all these years. Yeah, the inside, you can see it has been used maybe, but it's pretty much bare metal in there. That is all pretty much bare metal I'm looking at. And the reason I'm interested in that, the seasoning, is, well, that can determine my options when it comes to restoration. How am I going to restore this oven? I pretty much only use one thing now, but this would be a good candidate to use the molasses on, because there's no carbon on the outside from the fire and there's no seasoning on the inside. So your molasses is going to treat this quite well. It's actually going to get all that rust off and you're just going to be left with a metal surface. But being porous in places there, in the casting, not about porous, but there's sort of holes and grippy stuff looking there. Who knows what's trapped in there. I'm going to actually do what I do with all the ovens these days. I don't use the molasses, I haven't done for many years now, and it'll go in an electrolysis bath and then get seasoned up after I've de-rusted it. Which, having said, I could have done this with the molasses, I think, and done quite a good job if it had residue of carbon on the outside from a fire, or seasoning well and truly stuck on in the inside, yeah, well, there wouldn't be a real lot of point in using the molasses. No sign of seasoning inside that lid at all. Wouldn't be any point in using the molasses in that case, because molasses only removes rust. It won't take off anything else. So if you've got carbon on there on the outside, molasses is not going to do anything to that carbon. If you've got a bit of seasoning in there, it's not going to take the seasoning off. It's just going to take off the rust. That's it. Whereas the electrolysis method, it's going to remove everything. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it in a electrolysis bath and bring this back to 100% complete bare metal, and oil him up and bake it on and re-season it from start. And hopefully it'll end up looking a bit like one of these over here. Nice little 15-inch Harding there. It's pretty well seasoned on. Got a couple other Furphies over here piled up, and another couple up in here. I've actually got a 15 that needs doing as well. This one's been flood damaged, but so it needs a good clean as well. You're pretty much impossible to get that flood stuff off. But yeah, so anyway, that'll make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my 6th Furphy. Not counting, there's another one here somewhere. I don't even know where it is. Where are you? There should be. Oh, there's another one. This little fella down here. But this little nugget of a thing, that's actually a Chinese Furphy, but you can tell that by the teardrop in the handle, the fat knob on one end and the pointy end on the other end. I mean, look at the genuine Furphys. Exactly the same size as they should be. It's got massive big lugs of ears pointing out. Furphy 10, no distinction, no gap. They just run the numbers and the letters together, as they didn't know any better. It's ridiculously heavy. This is a 10-inch oven, and it weighs as much as that big 15-inch Harding over there. It's ridiculous. Never been used. Probably never will be. Anyway, we've got him home.